How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Liberty Hour, streaming through Spreaker Studio, the 16 Jackson Agent 1 Twitter account, and the A2 Jack YouTube channel. I'm back with my friend Erik, and we were starting to talk about his music. We were just talking about how he got to know my friend Ricky, and then you were starting to talk about how you guys started making music together, a bit about FL Studio, so go ahead and continue with that.
So yeah, like we just we started off with FL, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing. We kind of just looked at it and we're like, all right, this sounds good. Like we were just playing like random notes. We're like, oh, it sounds good. It's not. I look back at those projects. I'm like, dude, what the hell is this? This is shit, dude. You listen to it, you're like, what the fuck? Like, ugh, like it's just cringy, dude. I don't know. It's just, ugh.
When it comes to FL Studio, because obviously, I've seen that software, and it looks like there's a billion things involved. So how long did it take you to get to start understanding how to use that program? And then what would be some pieces of advice you would give to musicians who are looking to start using that platform to make music?
Well, to really kick things off, it took me maybe like a summer. It took me about a summer to kind of like get a hang of it because I would just kind of get on and I'd be like, oh, like I don't really understand it. It just frustrate me, and I'm like, I'll just leave it. I'll learn some other day. And I was just at it like that for a while. But if you want to get into music, you kind of got to see what program's right for you. Because now that I look at it, I see a lot of DJs and EDM artists use Ableton. They use Ableton, so I'm like, oh, like should I have gone with that, or you know? But I guess if you want to make like rap music and trap music and all that, I think FL would be a good way to go. It's really simple. It's easy to use, but you just got to really put time into it. You gotta be dedicated to your work. You can't just be like, oh, I'll put it off, I'll put it off, I'll put it off. Yeah, it's good to put it off, but you just you're just kind of like not getting lazy, but just kind of making excuses. You're like, oh, I don't want to do this day because I don't know how to do it. Like, have a mindset of, yeah, it's just for fun, but it's not a career. Like,
Right.
don't look at it as a career, because if you have it as a career, you kind of just forcing yourself to do it. You don't want to force yourself.
It's like
either,
the same thing as if you want to try to be a YouTuber. You got to view that as a hobby, not a career.
There you go. Exactly. Just like that, So if you want to, you gotta kind of do your research with each, well, they call them DAWs, the DAWs, the systems, FL Studio, Ableton, Logic, just things like that. So it just depends where you want to start. And you'll get the hang of it, honestly. It's pretty easy.
How long did it take you to get the hang of that program?
Whew. I'm still actually learning, because there's a lot of things to it. There's a lot of, because I take the long route, but there's shortcuts, to whatever I do. I haven't figured out the shortcuts. I kind of know how to do stuff, but I don't know how to like shorten my time with it. So it took me about to really get a hang of it to where I'm at right now. I'm looking at 3 years. Yeah, 2 years.
Gotcha. You mentioned, we mentioned about, how it should be more of a hobby and not a career. But obviously, if you were interested in prolonging that and getting it into being something as a super hobby to where you can market yourself, what I was going to ask you is, what do you think is the most effective way for young DJs or artists, for that matter, in any music, to market their work to other people to where they can get themselves known?
Well, the way I see it is a lot of people came up because they were doing funny things on the internet. Like Lil Pump, he was making, just random funny videos, and he kind of blew up that way. He didn't really start off as, oh, I'm rapping, blah, 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 blah. It was more of a, oh, I'm doing stupid, funny shit, and I'm getting noticed that way. And then you hit them with your music. So you got to kind of like pull them in. You got to pull in people by doing just YouTube, just getting out there, getting your name out there first. And then you want to hit them with whatever you want to hit them with, music, your vlogs, just things like that,
Right. By the way, before I get to the next question, I did want to just, mention this. Yes, we did have an audio issue there earlier in this part when I was playing the song. There was probably about 30 to 40 seconds that didn't get played. I ended up with a little audio issue, but you got at least got to listen to a good amount of the song for any viewers that are listening. Just wanted to make that known that yes, I was aware of that issue. Just was trying to work it out, and just want to let everybody know. Getting into my next question though, Chowder, how did you get into trap music or EDM in the first place? Like, what was it that got you into that style or genre of music?
This started like way back in my freshman year. I used to listen to Skrillex, and I would listen to it. Not many people would listen to him. They were like, "Oh, that's some whack ass music." Blah blah blah. I was like, you know what? Like, I like it. Like, I don't really give a fuck like what you say. Like, as long as I like it, it's cool with me.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I
it's
just kind of started. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and it's expanded so much since that time too, because at that time the biggest ones were like, Tiesto and Skrillex and stuff like that, and that was about a decade ago, and it's expanded so much in the last decade. EDC wasn't even a thing a decade ago, and now it is obviously one of the biggest things. You've got Tomorrowland, so many festivals that have been popping up in the last 5 years alone, let alone the last decade as well. Go ahead and continue with what you were saying, but feel free to respond to that as well.
But yeah, I just kind of played Skrillex, Pandora, on Pandora, and Pandora, how it just takes the artist you're listening to, and it just expands. It just pulls out different artists from that type of genre. So I kind of build from there. But it has really blown up because EDC, believe it or not, they started at a warehouse where it was only like not even five. They only had a few thousand people, not even, dude, like a few hundred people. And now they're just like at so many people. They have to take up the amount of space of a, what is it? I'm trying to remember.
Well, I'm looking up here right now on it, and it shows that like you said, it used to start in warehouse back in 1997, as early as that, and that was obviously back when EDM was barely recognized to most people. In 2009, it became a 2-day event, so it actually has been a decade to the day, and then it started becoming the 3-day event that is known nowadays in 2011, and it started drawing hundreds of thousands of people.
Yep, that's exactly right, dude. And now it's just like a massive festival. And from what I hear, everybody's just really chill, dude. Everybody is just really friendly, man. Like, you bump into someone, dude, they'll say, "Oh, I'm sorry, like, my bad." Like, yo, bro, like, you're good. Like, I bumped into you, Like, you don't gotta apologize.
Well, and that's the
Everybody's
thing.
just like,
With that
go ahead,
style of music and where you're at, it's like that's something that's just inevitably going to happen. I mean, me and Ricky and Daniel went to see Alan Walker at Ace of Spades back in October of 2017, and I kid you not, you probably had no more than a foot of space to work with in terms of like dancing and stuff, because everybody's packed in there literally like sardines.
yeah.
Unfortunately, some people are fucking assholes and try to cut to the front.
Yeah, dude.
But I'm sure that happens at most places and not just EDM concerts. But yeah. What I was gonna say is, obviously, I definitely want to try. We should try to go to EDC, by the way, in like 2020 or 2021, something like that. Definitely down for that.
That'd be crazy.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be super awesome. Obviously, these festivals cost a lot, and that's the same with a lot of music festivals nowadays. Is they're at one location, so people are traveling from all around the world. So then people are you have to pay a lot of money for that. Then you have to pay a lot for the festival. Obviously, they have payment plans and stuff, but it makes it hard for people to be able to afford to go to these to these concerts, and that actually transitions into the next thing I was going to talk about. Is you've been fortunate enough to go to a lot of raves because you hear about them. They're decently local, but for some people, they have to go far ways to see these artists. And my question to you is, how long do you think it will be until EDM music is more accessible to the consumer, to where they can actually go experience and see those artists a lot more, or do you think that it already is?
Dude, honestly, I'm looking at maybe 5 years, dude. I don't know. It's crazy because it's just been a short amount of time, and look where it's been already,
Mm-hmm. And the way technology's advanced too.
Right, like it keeps expanding, so it's hard to give it a range, but I want to say like 5 to 10 years, dude. It was just massive blow up. It's just crazy, dude. You just hear about it everywhere. Like anywhere you go, oh, you've heard of EDC, Ultra Miami, but blah blah blah. People, oh yeah, bro. So it's crazy. This community is crazy, and it just keeps expanding. It's a great community, dude. I love it. I'm not gonna lie. I love raving, dude.
I think that's a good fair prediction too. What I was going to ask you is, who are some of your favorite artists that you have gotten to go see at raves, and then who are just some of your favorite artists for the genre in general?
So far, the people that played a really good show, I gotta say, is Steve Aoki. He put on a great show, dude. 10 out of 10, bro. I would go back and see him. Excision's another good artist that I want to go see. He plays a little rock music too, so that's what I like about him, because I was into rock for a bit too. So he plays some good music.
Same here.
What else have I? Yeah, I'm saying. But I remember Designer came with Steve Aoki.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy. I was like, yo, like he just popped out of nowhere. I was like, yo, he brought him, like, special guest. So they put on a good ass show. Dioro was another good one. I've just seen so many, dude. I can't even remember. Slander's another good one.
So I know for a lot of these raves, go ahead. And sorry, you were finishing up your point. Go ahead.
But I mean, other than that, like people I still want. I'm gonna go see actually Slushy next weekend.
Nice.
On the 27th, and I still need to see Marshmello. That's like for sure.
Me too.
Duh.
Yep.
Tiesto, Martin Garrix. There's just a lot of people I gotta see still. That's why we gotta go to EDC soon, bro.
I agree, dude. I want to see Porter Robinson. I want to see San Holo. I want to see Galantis. Yep. There's so many people that I want to see. What I was gonna say is, obviously for a lot of these raves, you've traveled out to San Francisco. I know some have been in Sacramento and, Davis or around the area. But I was going to ask you is, because obviously where you live, which is literally in the country of Lincoln, completely country, to be going to all these raves that are in super, super urban, highly populated areas of places like San Francisco, obviously you've probably gotten used to it now, but initially, how much of a culture shock was that for you?
Honestly, because I've never been to concerts like that, I've gone to concerts here and there, but nothing like this. Like, it was just crazy. Like, the amount of people that were just, they were just friendly. I was just shocked. I was like, yo, there can't be that many friendly people in just one little small area, dude. Mm-hmm. It's just crazy. It just blew my mind. But, like, you just grow accustomed to it, You just go in kind of not knowing what you're doing, but you just kind of, like, look around and kind of adjust to it,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I noticed that too, because, I'd only been to, like, rock concerts before I went to, Night Nation Run, Alan Walker. I swear I went and saw somebody else for a rave. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But yeah, I definitely noticed it's a more of an interesting, different vibe and stuff like that. And it's funny because for rock music, there's the headbanging, which is the primary quote-unquote dance move. And for EDM, there's not even really a fucking dance move. You just move yourself around. People don't care. You're just fucking moving. But, that's one thing I think is really cool about it. It's definitely more of an accepting, I'd say, kind of community, that, from what I've noticed at least, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I gotta say, you do see headbangers there too, because you see headbangers, shufflers, just people just doing crazy moves. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, Like, you just bring whatever dance move and nobody will judge you, because it's EDM, You just bring whatever to the table, people accept it.
Yeah, as long as you're getting involved, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yep. I would ask you another question, but we are kind of running low on this part, and I don't want to interrupt you like I had to do the first few times. So I'm going to go ahead and end this part 3 here. We're going to come back, talk a little bit more about raves, what you've seen recently, obviously we could talk about past Slushy, what you plan on seeing in the future, and a little bit more about it in general when we come back to the Liberty Hour here. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll be right back.